Derrick Henry, so far, looked really good. But here's what we have to understand, too, before we go ahead and say, oh, my God, we screwed the pooch on there. He had some holes to run. Now, he's a beast, and you saw him basically, it took a couple of guys with him at 247 pounds being able to get a push in the middle there. He definitely looks like he still has it. But more impressed to me is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, 2 rushes, 19 yards. But not only that, he was hitting the guys. The passes he's throwing, this could be a really, really scary team. So we'll see what Kansas City looks like. But it kind of, as a Cowboy fan, and we sit here and we know about players that have wanted to come to Dallas. We know Bobby Wagner wanted to come to Dallas. And I was just talking to a Commanders fan, and he was talking about he met Bobby Wagner and stuff. And it's like, oh, yeah, I forgot he signed with the Commanders, didn't he? And even though he was an older player, you looked at him still getting like 160 tackles, last year. And with Derrick Henry, who has 2 houses in Dallas and things, and wanting to have come to Dallas, and you're sitting here looking at him, and you're like, man, that's some nice production. You counter that with what we got last year as far as running up the middle. Tony Pollard was a gadget guy. He was a guy who was best suited being outside, being in space. He wasn't a between the tackles guy. And the Cowboys made that miscalculation of figuring we can just pay him to be both. And it just didn't work out. And now you see a guy like Derrick Henry. If he can play like this all season, you look at it and say, yeah, he's going to be worth the money that they paid. So shout out to the Ravens for making that move. And, shout out to Jack and Angie. How are you doing, Angie? Over on the other channel. Kirky also had a terrible O-line. Well, hopefully, maybe we'll see some good things with Dalvin Cook and Zeke Elliott. Both of them were on really bad teams last year with terrible offensive lines. If Cooper Beebe and Tyler Guyton can get themselves going, then, things will be a lot easier for these aging running backs. But we'll have to wait and see. And it may take some time. Remember, don't get too bent out of shape by what you see the first month of the season. We got 4 games in September this year, but you really don't know what the teams are till really about October. So we'll see what we got.